Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together! Let's start! Game exchange! Culture shock!
Hey everyone, 𝐃𝐡𝐚𝐥𝐬𝐢𝐦 here.
Hi 𝐾𝐡𝐚𝐥𝐬𝐢𝐦.
So ever since I started culturally analyzing games, I've had a bunch of people ask me to talk about the Street Fighter series. And while I've dabbled with Rashid in the Middle East over on my channel, I've never really touched any of the classic characters on my content. Well, that ends today with, in my opinion, one of the most eccentric fighters the franchise has ever seen, Dhalsim. I mean it, this guy's freaking weird. Amongst his abilities, he can breathe fire, stretch all of his limbs to insane lengths, teleport, clothes himself in little save for a few pieces of jewelry, pants, and skulls? That seems pretty dark for a guy who believes in peace and harmony with the universe, right? Well, I decided to take a trek into the mystery of Dhalsim and try to make sense of his designs and abilities. And believe it or not, everything made sense. Like, everything made sense. And it all comes from Hinduism's various mainstream and off-stream sects, cults, and other organizations. So strap in as we break down the culture behind Dhalsim's extraordinary abilities. And I'm gonna say it right now, I have very little experience in Indian language, so please forgive my butcherings.
I agree with you, especially in India, there is literally, I'm not even kidding, literally thousands of language in India, so difficult.
First, let's start off with this whole fire-breathing thing, since to me, it was one of the most profound and unique aspects about Dhalsim.
True.
For those of you who may not know, Dhalsim in-game has the ability to blow fire from his mouth as both fireballs and large gouts. Though some have speculated that it's some kind of magical curry fire, Dhalsim himself in Street Fighter V says the production of flame from breath comes in tandem with a prayer to the god Agni. In Hinduism, Agni is the god of fire and sacrifice, and is one of the most important gods to humanity. Agni is the personification of sacrificial fire, and it's believed that when the sacrifice is burnt, he is the one who carries the sacrifice to the gods through his flame. Agni acts basically as a medium between the mortal and immortal, and without him, communication between man and god in Hinduism could not exist. Agni and fire also takes an important role in Hinduism as seen in yajna, which are various rituals done in front of a sacred fire. It's here that not only the previous mentioned sacrifices take place, but also other events such as marriage, celebrations, or initiations, all in the presence of Agni. And while that seems to cement the importance of fire with Dhalsim, the bodily union of it may be inspired from something else. A 63-year-old yogi named Rambhao Swami. This guy has created a meditative breathing technique that allows him to enter a blazing fire for up to 10 minutes and come out completely unscathed. Take note I emphasize breathing technique, as all of yoga is mastered through correct breath, which is likely where Dhalsim's fire breath originates from.
Wow, that's true. With proper correct breathing technique, it might actually be possible for the games to breathe fire in the games.
Now as for Dhalsim's super stretchy limbs, well, that seems pretty physically impossible. But I do believe the idea of it comes from Hatha Yoga. Originally believed to have been founded by Shiva, Hatha Yoga is basically what we common folk have come to just call yoga. And while many people use it for increased flexibility and exercise, the deeper meaning behind it is the building of control of one's body as well as mind. See, for Hatha Yogi, flexibility and the impossible things that can be done with the human body comes not from the desire to, quote, get in shape or get more flexible, but to transcend beyond our concepts of physical limitations and become able to move our bodies without restriction. And while Dhalsim certainly does take the cake when it comes to flexibility and body manipulation, you'd be surprised at the amazing things that Hatha Yogi can do with their bodies and limbs. Now,
wow, that is a fellow human being. Oh my goodness, he's awesome. And like, genuinely speaking, I'm very impressed.
Now, as far as Dhalsim's floaty controls goes, that too is culturally inspired. See, Yogi believe that through their practice, their shedding of earthly attachment actually makes them physically lighter. But how about Dhalsim's teleportation ability? Because that's pretty impossible, right? Well, on the physical level, teleportation seems to be a dream of science fiction. But on the mental and spiritual level, that's kind of debatable if you take into account astral projection. And the concept of astral projection is very much a practice when it comes to yoga. Patanjali, believed to be the sage behind hundreds of yoga's most important sutras, wrote about the concept of siddhis, or basically people who have developed supernatural abilities by training the mind. Examples include, but are not limited to, levitation, telepathy, and astral projection. Boy, don't that sound familiar. And through astral projection, the yogi's living spirit would be able to leave the body and travel to pretty much anywhere else in the world or worlds beyond our own. So while it's not Dhalsim's 100% physical teleportation, the spiritual side of dimensional travel is certainly a thing in yoga. But let's get to the real reason why I'm sure many of you clicked on this video. Why I had the goal to call Dhalsim, a character devoted to peace and harmony within the universe, a cannibal. Well, consider this. Within India, there exists a group of Hindu mystics called the 𝐒𝐫𝐢𝐠𝐢𝐬, or Aghori for short. They are a group of 𝐒𝐫𝐢𝐠𝐢𝐬ites, or those devoted to the Hindu god Shiva the Transformer. While some of their practices, such as never cutting their hair or beards, may seem fairly tame, many people often fear and loathe the organization, and from an outsider perspective, I can kinda see why. Their practices include profane tirades, constantly smoking pot, eating rotting food, garbage, and poop, yes, poop, using human bones, especially skulls, to create trinkets and bowls, which
Okay, please be wholesome. Please be family friendly. Thank you.
to eat, drink, and beg from, covering themselves in ashes of cremated bodies, but I think the most horrific practice is the ritualistic cannibalism. They wait at the sacred Ganges River to fish out bodies of the dead. Now here's the thing. While many Hindus are cremated, some deceased people such as pregnant or unmarried women, children, and victims of disease or suicide are not cremated. Instead, they are sent down the Ganges River, which Hinduism reveres as the most sacred river, to have their sins washed away. The Aghori, though, take the bodies from the river and utilize them either as altars to meditate on, use skulls and bones for the aforementioned trinkets and utensils, or even consume the decaying flesh. Dhalsim's physical design actually does come in part from this organization, as he too decorates his body with skulls. And while the guy has been typically bald in Street Fighter V, Dhalsim is now sporting a lengthy beard and might be hiding a lot of unkept hair under that turban of his, much like the Aghori do. And while Dhalsim's alternate color from the original arcade Street Fighter of a chalky bluish white might be a reference to the holy blue tint of God's skins, it does also look suspiciously familiar to the Aghori when they cover themselves in cremation ashes. So yes, I realize I just paralleled Dhalsim with a group of literal crap-eating cannibals who bathe in the ashes of the dead. But the actions of the Aghori do not come without a lot of reasoning behind what they do, and they do have some good intentions with their practices. Okay, so check this out. In Street Fighter V's story mode, we see that Dhalsim's ultimate goal is to harmonize everything in the universe, right? Well, that's exactly what the Aghori set out to do. See, to them, nothing in the universe is bad or good, pure or impure. There's only existence. They ultimately wish to transcend their mortal bodies, escape the wheel of reincarnation, and basically become an incarnation of Shiva, harmonizing with all things in the universe. But the only way to do that is to become indifferent to everything, and I mean everything. By exposing themselves to all things, even taboos, death, and impurities, their minds and bodies will move beyond the mortal concepts of good and bad and will transcend into a natural harmonization with everything in the universe. Again, a concept that Dhalsim himself says that he hopes to achieve. Harmonization with everything. So while it's physically impossible to breathe fire, teleport, stretch our limbs like Mr. Fantastic, and wear human skulls without a police
I really like the Marvel reference.
investigation, the truth behind the concepts are definitely there when it comes to Dhalsim, or heck, any fighter for that matter. But thanks for watching, everyone. And hey, if you like this video, you're probably into games, movies, and maybe even a few Netflix shows. And if so, you might want to consider subscription to Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription service that for about $25 a month sends you $40 worth of geek and gaming swag right to your front door. Last month's theme of Dystopian from my Loot Crate DX box netted me an awesome Blade Runner police car and badge to go with it, a very stunning watch from Mirror's Edge, a new way to listen to sick beats with a Nuka-Cola Fallout 4 headset, an art print from the John Carpenter classic Escape from New York, and finally a beautiful Bioshock Infinite art book. And next month's theme of Futuristic offers loot from Rick and Morty, Mega Man, Terima, Star Trek, and more. So if you want in on these unique items, head on over to lootcrate.com/culture and input the code CULTURE at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. But don't wait too long, the cutoff date for this month is July 19th, 9 p.m. Pacific. And if you're looking for more culture and gaming, be sure to click here to check out how Overwatch's tanky porker Roadhog is actually a Polynesian god. Or in case you missed it, click here to see what seemingly was a mistake on Blizzard's side turned out to be some of the coolest cultural references in Overwatch with Hanzo and Genji. But until next time, everyone, this is 𝐃𝐡𝐚𝐥𝐬𝐢𝐦 signing out.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find this video very new, interesting, I guess. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. But hey, that's just a game. a game exchange culture shop. Thanks for watching. Thank you. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Thank you so much and don't forget to follow my channel. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!